Hi, I'm Tom. This is Lucy, and this is Kitty Help Desk. So today I just wanted to talk a minute about the concept of emotions and cats, because it's very easy for us as humans to apply our own emotional states onto our cats. In fact, we can look at them and in the same circumstance, different people will perceive different things. For example, if a cat is sitting and looking out a window, one person might look at that and say, "Oh, the cat's enjoying looking at the birds outside the window. Isn't that nice?" And the other person might look at it and say, "Oh, that poor lonely cat all by herself. She's looking out the window. She's longing to go outside and have a different life." Neither one of those is necessarily correct, and both of them reflect more about the observer than they do about the cat. Right, Lucy? And part of that is because of the nature of cats and their inability to display their emotional states on their faces. Unlike dogs, cats have never really had the need to really display their emotional states in vivid and subtle ways on their faces. They use body language, fairly large cues, in order to show how they're feeling. And that leaves their faces relatively blank a lot of the time, at least as far as the way we observe them. We don't necessarily see them as displaying joy or various emotions. It's almost more of an alert status that appears on their faces. For example, cats don't have this muscle group that allows us to raise or lower our eyebrows. Dogs have that, but cats do not, because cats never had the need for it. As a solitary species, they never needed to communicate their emotional states to other cats in that way. So they really don't have that ability. Now, I'm not saying that they don't have those feelings. They absolutely do. They just don't have the ability to display them on their faces. And we as humans, we tend to look towards faces when we're trying to discern someone's emotions. So when we look at our cats, we often see a relatively neutral palette of emotions. What that means then is that we can then apply any emotional state that we feel at the moment onto our cats, even when that is not what our cats are feeling or even displaying at the moment. And that can cause us to make a lot of mistakes when it comes to our cats, because we might read them as being completely happy and content when they're extremely stressed out. Or we might think that they're feeling really sad and lonely when in fact they're perfectly content. What we need to remember is that we can look at their body language cues as signs to these things and really not pay as close attention to their faces. So, for example, when a cat like Lucy has her tail up like this with a little crook in the end, she's feeling pretty happy. And she's showing everyone that she's feeling happy. If that tail were thrashing around, then she's showing everyone that she's a little bit annoyed. If she's skulking down low, making herself as small as possible, then she's frightened clearly. If her ears airplane back, that means that she's feeling stressed or anxious. There are also some subtle signs that indicate stress. Things like lip licking is a sign of stress, or suddenly grooming an area is a sign of stress. If her back muscles contort, let me see if she will do it. Sometimes when I pet her, when she's up here, her back muscles will contort a little bit and spasm. She's pretty happy to be touched right now, so she's not doing it. But if she were, that would indicate, when I was touching her, it would indicate that she was being overstimulated and that she didn't want more touch. If I weren't touching her and her back muscles were jerking around, that would mean that she was feeling stress. So those are things we absolutely can make conclusions about. Whereas when I look at her face, she seems relatively neutral most of the time. Right, Lucy Boo? And so that's not a good way to measure her. See this tail? This is a little bit of anxiety because I was just giving her some treats and the treats have run out and she would like some more. That's really what emotion is at play there. So all of this is just to say, be very wary of how you assume things about your cat's emotional state, and really look for clear, very indicative cues that really tell you something about their emotional state instead of telling you something about your own. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.